All right, so I got a question from someone on Facebook asking about my opinion of low-carb diets. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Okay, first, Dr. Oz actually got slammed on this by confusing ketoacidosis and ketosis. Ketoacidosis is something that presents itself in type 1 diabetics, and it's due to the fact that they're not able to manage the formation of ketone bodies. So when ketone bodies start to show up, they get associated with ketoacidosis. They cause ketoacidosis. What happens basically is your blood has buffers in it, and there's a few different kinds of acid present, and the pH or the acidity of your blood is managed by these buffers. When the ketones start getting formed, they are acidic, and if they're not regulated correctly, because the type 1 diabetic doesn't produce insulin, then we get a rapid change in the acidity of the blood, and that can kill you. And that's that weird smell that people would get on their breath. They talk about that all the time. However, in a normal, healthy human being, that does not happen. Okay, so if you're not type 1 diabetic, there's no reason you shouldn't be looking at inducing a ketogenic state, because it will actually do a lot of really cool things for you. For one, the other idea that your brain needs glucose is incorrect as well. Ketone bodies fuel the brain better than glucose does. What else? Okay, so yeah, Dr. Oz sucks. Ketones aren't going to kill you. What was the other thing I wanted? I got a bunch of research papers up here because I wanted to make sure I actually got some decent information out. Well, okay, so there's a number of government and nutritional, bodies that, and I'm not talking ketone bodies, I'm talking bodies of people that are idiots, that are constantly beating up on low-carb diets. They're talking about how it's going to cause muscle wasting. It's funny because these people are rarely over 150 pounds and have never lifted a weight in their life, but they're very worried about muscle wasting. So they don't want a 300-pound bodybuilder doing a low-carb diet. Makes no sense. Meanwhile, Dr. Oz, dude, do something about your muscle wasting. You are a pencil neck. Anyways, so what's my point here? Low-carb diets are good, okay? The idea, there's no real clear evidence that you have any need for carbohydrates in your diet at all, other than they make you feel good, okay? There's other things out there that make you feel good that aren't good for you. You can think of a few. And have you ever noticed that, not unlike another form of addiction, when you do drop the carbs, you go through all of these weird withdrawal syndromes? What do you think that's about? Do you think it's actually physiological, or do you think maybe you have an addiction? Yeah, I think it's time we really acknowledge the fact that people have psychological and dysfunctional reasons for eating the foods they do, and they have nothing to do with the science. They have to do with an emotional connection to these foods. So the problem is that these jerks like Dr. Oz go out and enable these people. That's why you'll see a lot of trainers have a very strong dislike for people like Dr. Oz that are using a position of authority to literally enable someone's addiction. Because that's what he's doing. And if you're listening, buddy, I would love to kick the ever-living crap out of you. I don't understand how you can get up in the morning knowing, because I know you're a smart man, and spew the absolute baloney that you spew on national TV to millions of people, ensuring that they will stay unhappy. Like, no amount of money in the world should be worth doing that to people. And one day you're going to have to actually face that kind of, See, the thing is, people make this out to be not as important as it is. They make it out to be like, oh, it's just food, Tom. What are you getting so upset about? It's like, yeah, it's just the stuff you put in your body all day long. You know, I like honestly, man. Like Rob Wolf jokes about like hookers and cocaine being paleo. It's like I'm not sure which one's worse. Really, what's worse, being completely miserable and stuck on a couch every night of your life, or selling your house for crack? Like they both sound like pretty shitty ways to live, don't you think? So stop watching these morons. Like he totally buggered up the science. I'm not sitting around calling myself Dr. Lamb. Well, it's because I'm not a doctor, but so yeah, there's just a random rant on why low carb's okay. When I'm trying to put size on someone, the first thing I do is I get a really crazy look in my eye, but then I get them to eat carbs. That's how we fatten people up. It's also how you can put muscle. Like the carbs aren't evil. It's just you need to like understand the science of them, which hopefully I've done some kind of a job helping you too. I don't know. We'll see. Nobody watches these videos anyway, so I mean, how bad can it be?